have over $200,000 in this ADU build, and most people will look at that number and think that I'm crazy, and I might be, but I'm not betting on average here, right? So I'm betting on all the things: the World Cup, the Super Bowl, the Olympics, all coming to LA, the best city in the world, and I'm building a place where they're gonna stay. Let's talk about what this ADU is actually going to be bringing in. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you three scenarios that I came up with. Well, technically, it's four scenarios. And I think it's important to think about the worst case scenario, but also the best case scenario. Like, we got to give those two very similar energy. And we're going to go through the floor, which is like the bottom, like the worst case scenario, revenue wise, of what I think is going to happen. And then the best case scenario, like, if it does this, we in there. All right, let's get into these numbers. So this is what I am looking at. Now, first, let me show you my actual spend. So this is what I use to track what I'm actually spending for the ADU, and you can see 201,150 is what I've spent so far. I still have a $3,000 payment left, and then I may also have a payment for some landscaping that I want to do. And then I also want to do a professional designer. So there's definitely still several costs to account for, but this is pretty much the payment schedule. So as you can see, I started paying back in May of 2025. My most recent payment was not that long ago. Okay. Now this other tab though is the exciting one, right? So the first thing, let's start with this long-term rental, right? So this is not actually what I plan to do. Like I don't plan to use it as a long-term rental. I spoke with my tax strategist and she explained that the best case scenario for me with this ADU is to do it as a short-term rental. So that's the plan. We're going to see how that works out. But this is like a backup plan, right? And I did some research on rent comparables in the area I'm in and what it could go for. It's a brand new 2-bed, 1-bath. And so looking at that, and this is what I came up with, right? So $3,500 a month, that is just revenue, right? So keep in mind that does not go into servicing any debt or anything like that. Simply revenue, okay? And this will be the annual revenue. And that is the backup plan, okay? Now, the fun part that we need to talk about is these other numbers here, okay? So we got the floor, which is my conservative short-term rental numbers. So we have $150 a night at 50% occupancy, meaning out of a 30-day month, only 15 days are occupied. That would be $2,250 a month, okay? And then let's say that we actually end up doing the moderate short-term rental numbers. Looking at this moderate number, yes, $250 a night at 70% occupancy. Let's just say that's the occupancy rate. That would bring in $5,250 a month, which is still really good, right? Again, not considering any debt service or any expenses, because of course, short-term rentals have expenses. And then we're looking at that peak event short-term rental income. So $350 a night, 90% occupancy, bringing in almost $10,000 a month, right? That's the real one. Okay. That's the one I'm wanting. Okay. Now, why do I believe the ceiling is actually reachable? Three words for you: World Cup, Super Bowl, Olympics. Amazing, right? Now, the FIFA World Cup comes to LA in July of 2026. So we are planning to actually have this done at the end of May 2026. And I know that's ambitious, but I think it's possible to have it done by May, get the permits, get the furnishings and everything. I'm already meeting with the designer. So things are moving, right?
Wow, looks totally different. A lot more real. Wow, very interesting. So this is where the washer and dryer go, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Bedroom, closet. Okay. Very nice. Bathroom. Okay. Yes.
So I'm planning to have it done well before then and, getting it rolling. And the Super Bowl comes to LA in 2027. And that's a beautiful thing. And then we got 2028, the Olympics coming. And that is a series of events all across the city, right? So there's not a ton of Airbnbs in LA, and we can get into that later. But there's going to be housing needs all across the city of Los Angeles, but also just the surrounding areas, okay? So the three biggest events on the planet, back to back in my city. Okay. That's what I'm banking on. And here's the thing most people don't know: Los Angeles has some of the strictest short term rental permit restrictions in this country. It's actually tragic. And you can't just throw your house on Airbnb in the city of Los Angeles, okay? There's a whole approval process. It has to be your primary residence with very few exceptions. And that basically means they've created a situation where you have super high demand and constrained supply, right? And so the properties that do have short term rental permits, imagine they are about to be printing money during these events, okay? Is about to be pivotal. Okay, so when I tell you that I'm projecting conservatively, the 2250, what's really going on in my mind? I'm thinking big, okay? I'm thinking big, right? Because those conservative numbers are just my floor. They're not my plan, right? They're like, okay, this could happen, but I'm gonna give the real energy to what I want to happen because that's how manifestation works. Okay. So where do we go from here? Now the goal is to be done and get everything ready before the World Cup kicks off in July. And that's the target. So the next thing that's up is stucco. And when I just did my most recent walkthrough, we talked about progress, looked at, what needs to happen with the stucco. We talked about fencing and landscaping and all the things, right?
It'd be like an add like this to go here. And then that little gap, would that be turf or what would that be?
Against the wall?
Rock, turf?
We can do what will be really, really, really pretty. We could figure out what the so after stucco comes the interior finishes. Then we have final inspection, and then you get the certificate of occupancy. Now, the certificate of occupancy is actually something I need to even apply for the Airbnb permit, okay? Or I shouldn't say Airbnb, for the short-term rental permit, okay? So we are literally in the home stretch, like so close. I mean, it is May 2026, so we are close. And I said end of May, so mark my words. Now, what I want you to take away from this is not just, oh, wow, you built an ADU. Like, no, that's not the point. The point is, this is a framework for how to look at your market, right? I don't know where you are, or I don't know where you're planning to invest, but think about the long-term goal, but also think about different scenarios, right? So not everyone's building from scratch. You may be purchasing a property to do a short-term rental, or you may be rehabbing a property to do it, or you may even be doing rental arbitrage or master leasing, right? No matter what, just think of it as a framework for what you are about to do, right? I'm not just building something from scratch and hoping it's going to work. Like, I've been studying these numbers, I've been looking at what's going on in the city, and I am positioning myself to benefit from it, right? So looking at the regulations, looking at the process, making a plan, and positioning accordingly. And that is the investor mindset, right? So you can apply that logic to whatever market you're going into, and you can also apply it to midterm rentals, long-term rentals, whatever you want. Okay. Now take that information, go choose your market, decide what you want to do, and let me know in the comments what you're still struggling with.